So today we're going to be talking about Ladles of Love. So we know the 18th of July is coming up and it's Nelson Mandela Day. And I do know that Ladles of Love is aiming to get into the Guinness World Record book. So can you please tell us more about that?
So Ladles of Love for the past 2 years have been trying to break record with this can mosaic that last year they created. It wasn't a mosaic, but they created the longest line of cans.
Okay.
And they broke the world record. So this year we're trying to break a world record with the mosaic. So mosaics are happening in Johannesburg and Cape Town. The one in Johannesburg is the mosaic of the flag, and the one in Cape Town and the one in Johannesburg is happening at the Nelson Mandela Square in Sandton, and the one in Cape Town is happening at the CICC. And that mosaic is of Nelson Mandela's face. So we're hoping to raise enough cash for all our beneficiaries and also get enough cans for us to be able to support these beneficiaries. And what the mosaic is going to do is literally it's a way for us to raise cash to help our beneficiaries. And what we want is we want people to donate. Either you can donate 100 rands and buy 5 cans towards the mosaic. Those cans after we've broken the world record, and I know we will break the world record again, are then going to be donated to our beneficiaries. And if you can't donate, you can also, or you can donate and give of your time. And what you do with your time, the 7 minutes for Mandela Day, is you can donate 150 rand for a 1-hour slot to come and volunteer. And volunteering at the mosaic could be anything from, helping to put the cans as part of the mosaic, or you could make sandwiches, or you could knit squares towards blankets that we're going to donate to our beneficiaries, or you could just be there and just help. The whole idea is to get people to volunteer their time, 67 minutes towards Mandela Day with Ladles of Love.
Okay, interesting. So who are the beneficiaries that you mentioning?
So we've got a lot of beneficiaries based in the Cape. As you know, Ladles of Love was started in the Western Cape by Danny Diliberto. I always get his surname wrong, Diliberto.
Yeah.
And he started a kitchen at Ruland Street, and the whole thing with kitchen was to feed and help homeless people in and around the CBD of Cape Town.
Yeah.
What then happened, what started small as a small kitchen moved and became something really, really incredible and big during COVID, because during COVID, as you know, a lot of people lost their work, a lot of people lost their homes, a lot of people just became helpless and hopeless because there were food insecurity became a big thing in Cape Town and all over South Africa, as you know. But Danny, being Danny, then he started a warehouse at the CTICC where food and all sorts of things were donated to him, and he then would donate all these things to other beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are community leaders, community kitchens, community ECDs, so early childhood development centers. Yeah. Those are our beneficiaries. So we're feeding children, we're feeding the elderly here in Johannesburg, we're feeding people who are sick and can't afford medication, because if you're sick and you can't afford medication or food to take your medication with, you might as well not even take the medication if you're not eating well. So we're supporting those beneficiaries also. So we've got over 200 beneficiaries who each beneficiary serves or helps over 4 or 5 other beneficiaries beneath them. So you're looking at, in 2020, and between 2020 and now, we've fed over 20 million people through our beneficiaries. So we've got food feeding schemes that are feeding people all over the townships, in the cities, and we also have people who are, with our programs, of different programs at Ladle. So we've got Nourish the Children or Nourish the Nation. Yeah. And we've got one called RAD, which is Realize a Dream, which is basically based purely on trying to get communities to be sustainable and also trying to raise entrepreneurs. So we fund food entrepreneurs in communities to be their best. We fund them, we get them mentorship, we get them capex, which is money to go into their business, to build their businesses so that people are sustainable and they can take care of themselves. And we funded a lot of young entrepreneurs who lost work during COVID and who are now able to take care of themselves and take care of their communities. We also we've got another program called Feed the Soil. Feed the Soil actually takes care of food waste. As you know, food waste is a big problem in the world. And it's actually one of the saddest things, the saddest reality of our food system is that a lot of the food is wasted while at the same time we have food insecurity. So what we try and do is we try and get all that food waste from households, and we turn that food waste into compost. If you know anything about gardening, you know that you can't grow healthy food or healthy, pure, good food without proper manure or proper compost, and compost costs a lot of money. So what we do is that then we take that food, we turn it into compost, and we donate that compost to our feeding schemes and our community gardens that feed communities. And then we also have, I did speak about Nourish the Children, Fill a Pot, which is another one, which is a food rescue program that we do with Ladles of Love. And so our beneficiaries actually we help a whole lot of beneficiaries. So it's ECDs, early childhood development centers. It's feeding kitchens, which are very, very big because, as you know, Ladles of Love started as a feeding kitchen. So we're still growing as a feeding kitchen. And we're doing the same here in Johannesburg. But in Johannesburg, we don't have feeding kitchens yet. What we do is we've got beneficiaries who are already working in communities, who already have feeding kitchens. And what we do is we support them. We deliver food to them weekly, twice a week. So they come and they get their food from us, and then they're able to to take care of their communities, because as you know, the problems are so big, and us as an organization can only do so much. And we need activists, love activists in communities to do the work. And there's a lot of people who are already doing the work. So we come in and support them and make sure that they're supported. They've got all the resources they need so that they can be love activists and they can change, the narratives in their communities.
Excellent work. One of the United Nations SDGs, I do know that you are involved with the United Nations, as you said, is to end hunger by 2030. So what is the plan in terms of Ladles of Love to contribute towards that sustainable development goal?
To Ladles of Love, fine enough. I mean, as you know, we do a lot of feeding, which is food, feeding schemes. So that on its own is not enough to end hunger. As you know, that hunger it's an endemic problem in the world. And the problem is that it's, just feeding people is not sustainable. So you need to be able to give people ways or give them resources to be able to sustain themselves. And that's how you end hunger. You have to empower people to sustain themselves, because hunger, people going every day to, handouts, trying to get food from other people is not really sustainable, which is what we've seen over the years with Ladles, is that, when 2020 hit and we had COVID, a lot of people had nothing and we had to step up and do something for them. But over the year, like in the last 2 years, donor fatigue came in. So people stopped donating, because after a while you can only give so much, and it's like you want to give something that adds value to people, not just food, just hand out every day, but something that will make them strong people, that will make them sustainable. And that's how we want to work. We want to empower communities to be able to take care of themselves, which is why we've got programs like Realizing, we've got programs like Feed the Soil. Feed the Soil, actually, we got one of our corporates to donate gardens to our feeding schemes. And what those gardens do is they become a hope in the community, because there's food that grows there, and that food feeds the feeding scheme, but it also feeds the communities in and around where it operates. So we try and be those people that are not just there for the day to feed you and go, but we want to make sure that you can actually sustain yourself. So with that garden, you can actually, grow some food and sell it and make money. You grow some food, create products that you can sell, you know, relishes, pickles, sauces, or whatever that you can then sell and make a little bit more money for yourself. So the whole idea for us is to get people to be more sustainable, and sustainability is part and parcel with no hunger. If we're gonna work towards any sustainable development goals, we need to have a long-term plan, and a long-term plan doesn't necessarily mean us just giving people handouts, but also a hand up. So giving them opportunities, making sure that whatever they have, whatever little they have, they can grow it and multiply it so that they are sustainable. So our Realize a Dream foundation is exactly what we do. It's entrepreneurship. We try and teach people who are already in the food industry. So a lot of people who lost their job, for instance, during COVID because they're in the hospitality industry, couldn't work.
Yeah.
Even when things opened up, they still most of them still couldn't do any work. But because they had skills, they had skills on how to cook or bake, we help them with those skills. We actually pair them up with mentors. We've got corporates who are on board who take them on and gave them CAPEX money to buy equipment, money to buy a space for them to work at Maker's Landing in Cape Town. So we paired them up with mentors who actually help them with their business. So after a year of that mentorship, those people, those 4 entrepreneurs, and we have this yearly, the 4 entrepreneurs that get the funding always come out there better. I mean, our last entrepreneur that we helped was Tabiso, and he runs a kitchen called Kasi Kitchen. His business now is thriving, purely from moving from not having any employment to now running a successful, thriving business purely because he was in the program, in the hub, and he learned a lot of skills. But more than anything, he got somebody, a big brother, holding him in corporate, saying, no, don't do this, let's do it like this,
Yeah.
and helping him, opening doors for him. And for us, that's what sustainability is about. That's what no hunger is about. It's not just about hand out, but a hand up.
To equip the people. Amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I will end it here.